welcome back to the channel with me, Poison Smurf, and another Division 2 video. And on today's video, we're going to be finally getting to our DPS build. Our true, all red, maximum damage, stacked crit hit chance, stacked crit hit damage, using one of our favourite weapons, the Eagle Bearer and the Ravenous. But before we get into today's build, as always, we'll just ask if you enjoyed today's video or find it helpful in any way, maybe think about dropping it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. Any questions or tips that you want to give regarding today's video, drop them down in the comments below. We do get back to every single person. If you haven't already, maybe think about hitting that subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified of any future videos. So now with all that out of the way, let's get into today's video. So as we said, today we're going to be focusing on DPS. However, I am going to be breaking this DPS guide up into a two-part. We're going to have part 1 today using the Eagle Bearer and the Ravenous, which is what I like to think of as my DPS at range build. And we're going to have a follow-up video regarding SMGs and DPS like close quarters. So as far as DPS going from a distance, well, nothing's going to come close to our one-shot build, which we're not going to be including in today's list. Obviously that emphasises the Nemesis sniper rifle, but as far as hard-hitting DPS goes, there's nothing comes close, landing approximately 40 to 45 million per single shot. If you haven't seen it already, guys, maybe check it out, links above. But today, like I say, we're going to be focusing on the Eagle Bearer and the Ravenous. So as always, we're going to make a start with the specialisation, and where it may come as a surprise to some of you, I've elected to go with the Gunner. So starting off at the bottom, we have the emplacement talent. 10% weapon handling while not moving, need to be motionless for 1 second. Now as this is an all red 6 tier red build, we're going to be quite squishy. We are going to be utilising cover for the majority of this. So 10% weapon handling, that's increased weapon reload speed, less recoil is all just going to help us out. We've got generate 10% of total ammo capacity every 60 seconds. Party members recover 5%. Now, as we're going to be running the Eagle Bearer with very high RPM and assault rifle, we're going to be going through many rounds very quickly. So anything we can gain back from that is just an absolute bonus. We've also got the barrage talent. Rate of fire increases by 5% on kill for 5 seconds. So as soon as we drop an NPC, we're instantly going to see a 5% buff in our RPM, effectively increasing our DPS. We've got the armor kits repair 100% armor and grant 30% bonus armor for 10 seconds. Now we are very short of armor on this build, so obviously when we pop this to get the 30% bonus armor, well, that's just the little bonus we get from this build. We've got killing enemies grants us 10% armor. Once again, a little bit of a bonus to kind of compensate for the 6 reds. We're going to take that. The riot foam grenade also comes in really handy, helping us to fix in NPCs to the spot, allowing us like an easy time just to burn them down. And then finally, remembering to spec into our 2 weapons of choice. So today we're going to be utilising the assault rifle with the Eagle Bearer and the rifle. So moving on quickly, now we're going to look at the weapon loadout. As you can see, we have the foam grenade that we've selected to go with the gun specialisation. As far as the pistol is concerned, I've got the named card TDI 45. This is with the extra skill tier. We won't really be using this, so as far as our secondary weapon is concerned, we've gone for our good old reliable Baker's Dozen. If you take a quick look, as you can see, we've got maxed out 15% rifle damage, 17% crit hit damage, 10% damage to target out of cover, and the talent perfectly lucky shot. Magazine capacity is increased by 30%. Missed shots from cover have a 100% chance to return to the magazine. Now this is a really underrated talent. Obviously, because we're running the 6 reds, we're going to be in cover for the majority of the time. The fact that we're getting an additional 30% in our magazine gives us obviously a lot less downtime reloading, but also the fact that we've got the 100% chance of the bullet returning to the magazine if we miss the target. This now allows us just to sit there, spam our shots, and obviously with the total damage at 492k, it's hitting hard and it's hitting quickly. Well, we'll come to our primary weapon, and of course it's the illustrious Eagle Bearer. As you can see on mine, total weapon damage is 118.7k, running at 750 RPM with 60 in the magazine. Attributes, we're looking at 14.7 assault rifle damage, just a tiny bit off that god roll. I maxed out 21% health damage and 10% headshot damage. Now, the reason I like this, obviously this is my go-to build that I use inside the raids, and one of the most beneficial bonuses to this is the health damage. Now, if you guys don't know, this allows you to take down weak points on enemies, on the turrets, any old weak points in general. I mean, are all affected by health damage, so this is a great pickup. And of course, we've got the talent Eagle Strike. Accuracy increases as you continuously fire up to 30%. Headshot kills grant the tenacity buff for 15 seconds. The strength of the tenacity is increased by 1% for body shots and 5% for headshots. Tenacity, 40 to 80% of damage taken is delayed until the buff expires. All the total delayed damage is reduced for each enemy killed while the buff is active, up to 100% for 3 kills. So if we can manage to kill 3 NPCs within the 15 seconds while tenacity is procced, obviously we're going to mitigate all 100% of the damage. This has saved my life on numerous occasions. It has taken my life at the same time, but that's a story for another day. So now we've gone over the weapons, we'll take a quick look at the build. As we can see, there's no surprises. We're running with a 3-piece Provident, one-piece Grouper, one-piece Seska, and of course the Fox's Prayer knee pads. So we'll run through the pieces individually, starting off with the mask. We've gone with the Providence. As we can see, we've got the 3-piece, so we're getting the additional 15% headshot damage, the additional 10% crit hit chance, and additional 15% crit hit damage just from the brand set. Then as far as core attributes, we've got an additional 15% weapon damage, maxed out 12% crit hit damage, 6% crit hit chance, and a 12% crit hit damage mod. Going down to the holster, we've got the Grouper Sombra. Again, 15% crit hit damage for the 1-piece bonus. As far as the attributes are concerned, we've got 15% weapon damage, 10% headshot damage, and 12% crit hit damage. Now, in a perfect world, I'd like to remove that headshot damage and have crit hit chance there as well. Now, the 10% headshot damage is helpful, but the fact is, on this build, if I actually had the crit hit chance there, I wouldn't have to run the Seska gloves at all. So going over to the Seska gloves, obviously we've got an additional 10% crit hit chance for the 1-piece, and that's purely just to get us to the 60% cap. If we did have that on the Grouper holster, we wouldn't have to run this. As far as the core attributes are concerned, we've got 14.8% weapon damage, 6% crit hit chance, and maxed out 12% crit hit damage. Knee pads, we've got our good old faithfuls, best in slot, Fox's Prayer. Now, as you can see from the 1-piece, we've got the 10% rifle damage, which is great when we're using our secondary weapon. Doesn't really help us as much with the first. However, the attribute 8% damage to target out of cover does. This is obviously best in slot. There are other ways that you can run this build, but as far as maximum damage is concerned, this is what you need. And we're lucky enough to have this god rolled. 15% weapon damage, the 8% damage to target out of cover, and 12% crit hit damage. So that leaves us to the chest and bag. Now, I know straight away a lot of you guys are going to be saying, "Oh, Trauma, why have you picked that? Why have you not gone for Obliterate?" Well, the truth of the matter is, with regards to the Obliterate, I just simply haven't picked a good one up yet. Yes, you could run Intimidate, obviously for the additional weapon damage, but what I tend to find is that obviously this bonus is only procced within 10 meters of the enemy. Now, when you start playing the more difficult content in the game, Legendary, the Raids example, you don't really want to be within 10 meters of the enemy. If you do, you're not going to have a very good day. I find that Intimidate doesn't really proc that often. Obliterate would be a good choice. Like I say, at the moment so far, I haven't picked a good one up like that. However, running Trauma does give us one little perk. If we go on now, if we go over the stats quickly, 15% weapon damage, 11.8 crit hit damage, 6% crit hit chance, and the 12% crit hit damage mod, with, like I say, the talent Trauma. Applies blind to enemies hit in the head, cooldown 30 seconds, applies bleed to an enemy hitting the chest, cooldown 30 seconds. So the reason I do like this talent is obviously with the 6 reds being a little bit squashy, I tend to find that trauma, because I can get a shot away on the NPC relatively quickly, the minute I apply a blind or a bleed to the NPC, he's no longer putting damage onto me, giving me a little bit more time to be able to just burn him down nice and easy. And with such a short cooldown, 30 seconds, you'll find that this is proccing literally all the time. And then because of that, that then allows us to run Wicked, the talent on the bag, applying a status effect, which is what we'll be doing from the Trauma talent, increases total weapon damage by 18% for 20 seconds. So remembering that the cooldown for Trauma is only 30 seconds, that basically means that for 20 seconds out of every 30 seconds, we are actually going to have Wicked procced. So this is going to be proccing, giving us an 18% amplified damage 65% of the entire time we're running. For me, especially with everyone running status builds right now, there's normally all the NPCs are bleeding, they're on fire. I mean, this is procced majority of the time. Yeah, yes, you can get the 25%. For example, if you wanted to run Vigilance, just from my own personal opinion on running this gear set, I tend to find that the Wicked is procced a lot more than the Vigilance. But, like I say, you can change it up. So as far as the skills are concerned, obviously, no surprises, we're running with the Reviver Hive, so if we go down, we haven't got a trouble our guys to come and get us up. If we look into the mods, as you can see, we've got a 9.2 Reviver Armor Repair at the top. We've got a 5% range, and then finally we've got the 8.5 health. With regards to our second skill, well, this I sometimes pick and choose. Sometimes I will run the Crusader Shield, just allowing me that extra couple of seconds just to get close to an enemy, just to allow me time to burn them down, because obviously we are squishy. But this is something I run with a healer normally. If not, I tend to run the decoy. This just allows me to throw it down, take all the aggro, once again giving me an easier time to burn the enemies down. With regards to the mods on that, we've gone for a 7.5 health and a 7.5 duration. So we'll take a quick look at the stats now. As you can see, weapon damage, we're looking at 118k. We've got 60 maximum crit hit chance, a whopping 197.6 crit hit damage, 103.6 headshot damage, another 21% health damage, 20% accuracy. Going down to the second page, we've got another 99.8% all weapon damage. We've got an additional 29.7 assault rifle damage with the talents, Wicked and Trauma. Now, as you can see with them numbers, this stacks up to a whole heap of damage. Now, you can change things up a couple of different ways. Like I say, if you wanted to, you could swap out the Trauma on the chest. You could run Intimidate if you preferred. You could also, like we said earlier, you could run Obliterate. If you were to get the correct Triple God Road Grupus Ombre holster, you would no longer need to run the Seska gloves, which means that you could run the Contractor's gloves, for example. Or you could even swap that out for a different piece of Provident, which I just so happen to have here ready for this. And that allows us to then change the chest piece to a Ferris chest. And then with regards to the bag, same again, the talent Wicked, you don't necessarily have to go with this. You could change this for something else if you preferred. You could always go with something like Vigilance, get the additional 25% damage whilst not taking damage. You could go with Adrenaline Rush if you wanted a bit more survivability and a bit more armor. Like I say, this is just a guide on a demonstration on how I've set mine up. Obviously, you don't need to take this as a template. I mean, you can customize it to suit your own playstyle. But with regards to the Eagle Bearer build, that is going to about cover that. So next we're going to be moving on to our Ravenous build. So our Ravenous build, starting off with the specialisation, this time we've elected to go for the sharpshooter, and that's for the following reasons.
Oh, hey.
So starting off, we've got the round after round talent. After 20 seconds in cover, you start to regenerate 5 marksman and 5 rifle ammo every 10 seconds, so whilst ever we're sat in cover, we're simply getting our ammo back. All group members that are closer to enemies than you get an additional 10% headshot damage. Now, as we're running a rifle, 6 red tier, we're going to be sitting back, so the chances are there is going to be people in front of us, so they're getting an additional 10% damage bonus straight off the bat. Extra armor gained while in cover. Again, 6 red builds, we're going to be spending a lot of time in cover, so that's a great addition. Armor kits repair 100%, remove status effects, and increase resistance to bleed, poison, and burn for 20 seconds. Now, we all know how much of a pain in the arse on Legendary the drones can be, setting you on fire. If you run the directors with the special ammo, we tend to be under status effects quite often, so this is a great way to be able to remove all them. We've got 15% increased weapon stability, reduces recoil and faster requisition of targets. Obviously, running a rifle, this lowers our recoil a little bit, allowing us to get back on target and put down DPS a hell of a lot quicker. We've got the additional 15% increased headshot damage with rifles and marksman rifles, allowing for pushing kills. Now, as we're running the Ravenous, the exotic rifle, this is a great addition once again. We also get the flashbang stun grenade, which applies blind. Remembering to spec into rifles, and in this one we're going to be going with shotguns. So now taking a quick look at our loadout regarding weapons, as you can see we've gone with the flashbang stun grenade now. We've got the 50 cal specialisation marksman rifle. Again for the pistol we've got the card TDI 45 with the extra skill tier, no particular reason, it just happens to be my favourite pistol right now. As far as secondary weapons concerned, we've gone with the named mop, running at 970k damage, 15% shotgun damage, 10% damage to armour, and a 10% armour on kill, with the talent preservation. Killing an enemy repairs 10% armour over 5 seconds, headshot kills improve the repair by additional 10%. So if you can pull this out and finish an enemy off with a headshot, you'll be looking at a 20% additional armour repair. So that's all we do use it for, it's just a quick little armour boost as and when we get easy targets of opportunity. So with our named primary weapon, we've gone with the exotic, the Ravenous. Now, yes, this is the exotic weapon, only achievable by completing the Iron Horse raid, so not everyone will have this. Now, if you don't, you can always swap that out with one of your highest powered rifles, whatever you want to use, whether you wanted to use, I don't know, even the Harmony with perfectly in sync, the Merciless perhaps, the Diamondback could even work, your Baker's Dozen, any rifle really. Obviously, you're still going to gain from all the different procs that we have with this set. But taking a quick look at our Ravenous, we've got a total damage of 293k per round, 240 rounds a minute, with a 60 round magazine, 15% rifle damage, 16% crit hit damage, 10% damage to targets out of cover, and the talents Jerry and Freaky. On trigger pull, fire both barrels at once. When fired from the right shoulder, hits our defensive primers and defensive primers when fired from the left shoulder. Hits from one shoulder will detonate all of the opposite shoulder's primers when present. When detonated, each offensive primer deals 100% weapon damage, while each defensive primer grants 4% bonus armor and 10% amplified damage to armor plates for 5 seconds. Primer effectiveness is doubled at 10 stacks. So basically what we're saying is whenever we shoot this weapon from the right hand shoulder, we're going to be building up stacks. We want to be building up a minimum of at least 10, swapping shoulders, and then the minute we shoot the opposite primer off, we'll be looking at the amplified damage bonus. Vice versa, if we were to shoot it from the left hand shoulder first and to stack up approximately 10 if not more primers, and then switch to the right, triggering them, we will get suddenly a whole heap of bonus ammo. So this is a great way to add a little bit of survivability to your build without having to factor any gear into it. We're going to skip straight down to the turrets on this one, and as we did with the previous build, we're running the Reviver Hive, because obviously we don't want to be getting caught into no man's land and having someone to have to come and get us up. For this one, we're actually going to be running the Crusader shield. Purely as a 6 raid, it just gives us that little bit extra cover, allows us to get our shots on target for that little bit longer. And as we've changed things up a little bit and we're going to be running Vigilance on the bag, it just keeps that proc going that little bit longer. So as you can see, looking at the build, it doesn't look that much different to our original setup. We've got the same Providence mask, we have the same Providence chest, we have the same Grouper holster, and we have the same Fox's Prayers knee pads. What we have changed up is this time, rather than going with the Seska, we've gone for the Contractor's gloves, giving us a 10% LMG damage bonus for the one piece. As far as the core attributes are concerned, we've got the 15% weapon damage, we've got the 8% damage to armor with 4.7 crit hit chance. With the bag, because we're running the Crusader shield, this time we've elected to go with the Vigilance. Increased total weapon damage by 25%, taking damage disables this buff for 4 seconds. Now, we could have just left it as it was with the original Providence bag with the Wicked. However, as we're running the Crusader shield, I feel like you're not taking damage for a longer period of time, so Vigilance tends to be procs a lot more. With the chest, like I say, I kind of pick and choose with that. Some days I prefer to run with Intimidate, other days it's Obliterate. But Trauma, it just seems to be my go-to right now. It's like a mini version of the Ridgeways. If we take a quick look at our stats now for this one, as you can see, weapon damage, we're looking at 293,000 weapon damage, 42% crit hit chance, 191.5 crit hit damage, 113% headshot damage. We've got 8% armor damage. And if we continue down, 100% all weapon damage was an additional 40% rifle damage. Obviously with the gear talents, Vigilance and Trauma. So that's going to do it for today's video, guys. Hope maybe you found that useful and maybe you just thought about maybe going out and trying something different away from the norm, like Intimidate and Adrenaline Rush. But yeah, there you have it. So as always, guys, a big thank you to everyone that made it to the end of the video. It really is the best way that you can support the channel. If you did like the video or find it helpful, remember to drop it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, always hit a thumbs down. Any questions, comments, or any requests that you've got for any forthcoming videos, drop them down in the comments below. Like I say, we do try and get back to everybody. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified of any future videos. So, until the next time, guys, stay safe and keep grinding.
Very good.